In a quiet Oregon town nestled beneath misty evergreens and sleepy neighborhoods, the Holloway family lived what many would call an ordinary life. Thomas and Elaine Holloway were respected members of their community. He worked as an electrician, she volunteered at the local library. Their 3 children, Ben age 12, Maddie age 9, and little Rosie just 5, were known for riding their bikes through the neighborhood, waving at neighbors, walking their golden retriever, Clover. The family had lived in their modest, pale blue house for 6 years. Nothing about them stood out. Nothing ever seemed off. But on the morning of September 14, 2012, that quiet familiarity shattered. No one answered the phone when friends tried to call. The Holloway children didn't show up to school. Elaine missed her usual volunteer shift. And Thomas never arrived at work. A neighbor, concerned after seeing newspapers pile up and porch lights left on during the day, approached the house. They knocked. No answer. They called out. Still nothing. Eventually the police were called. What they found inside the house was deeply unsettling. Dinner was still laid out on the kitchen table, plates of food untouched, forks resting where hands had clearly placed them with intent to eat. Glasses half full. A chair tipped just slightly, as if someone had stood up quickly. The TV was off, but a children's show menu blinked faintly on the screen, frozen in time. In the hallway, toys lay scattered as if dropped mid-play. The family dog Clover was inside, unharmed, wagging her tail but clearly anxious. The house was locked from the inside. There were no signs of forced entry, no broken windows, no blood, no overturned furniture. All 5 of the family's phones were found neatly placed on the charging dock near the kitchen. Wallets, IDs, car keys, all accounted for. But the car remained in the driveway. Every belonging, every sign of the family's existence was present, except for the family themselves. It was as if they had vanished into thin air. Investigators combed through every inch of the home. Nothing pointed to foul play, and nothing suggested voluntary departure. There were no packed bags, no travel plans, no internet searches indicating a desire to flee. The family had even scheduled a barbecue the following weekend. It made no sense. The neighborhood, tight-knit and generally safe, was shaken. People who had lived there for decades now locked their doors twice. Rumors started to spread. Some believed the Holloways had planned their disappearance. Others whispered about darker things. 1 week passed. Then 2. Then a month. No ransom notes. No sightings. No fingerprints or DNA that didn't belong. Security footage from nearby traffic lights showed nothing. Their bank accounts remained untouched. Nothing explained why 5 people would vanish without any warning or sign of struggle. The Holloways became national news. TV crews parked outside their home, journalists interviewed neighbors, amateur sleuths scoured old Facebook posts. But no credible leads emerged. A theory circulated that Thomas had secret gambling debts, but that was quickly ruled out. His finances were in order, and no connections to criminal activity were found. Elaine had no mental health issues, no documented history of instability. The kids were happy and healthy, as reported by teachers and doctors. Everyone who knew the family described them as normal, warm, and unremarkable in the best possible way. Still, the case remained cold. Over the years, strange details began to bubble up. One neighbor reported hearing what sounded like 3 knocks on her back door around 3 a.m. on the night of the disappearance. But when she checked, no one was there. Another swore she saw a dark van parked near the Holloway house late that evening, but surveillance didn't confirm it. One peculiar clue that investigators kept close to the chest for years later emerged. A single muddy footprint in the garage, one that didn't match the family's shoes and appeared to be fresh. But even that led nowhere. The house remained unsold for nearly a decade. People claimed it felt wrong, though no one could describe exactly why. Some said lights would flicker on even when the power was off. Others reported hearing faint laughter from the backyard at night. Still, nothing tangible ever tied the home itself to the mystery. Eventually, the house was rented out to a new family. They reported no incidents. Police continued to follow up on tips, though they grew fewer each year. In 2020, the case was quietly shelved as a cold file. No arrests. No remains. No answers. Just an ordinary family who, one night, simply disappeared. The Holloways became the subject of podcasts, documentaries, even speculative novels. But none of them offered closure. The name Holloway now lingers in the corners of internet forums, true crime chats, and the memories of those who lived in that quiet Oregon town. They remain, to this day, the family that vanished without a trace.